Hello. I'm just looking up the questions. We got some from Romeo. That's it so far. Okay. Yes, I'm very excited about our 107 now followers. I know we were around 60 for a long time, so that's exciting. Actually, I'm just about at 200. Is it 100 followers? I think it's 100 followers on Pinterest. I'm excited about that too. Okay, so Rocky's just coming down with his coffee. Oh, we started late because he was pulling crab traps, so we could have more crab. Oh, he got food. Sorry. You're gonna have to eat that somewhere else. So I will bring Seth. Oh, and there's my little mooching dog. Say hi, Lily. You want to be famous? Hi, Lily. Lily, are you on camera? Give a F. She wants food. Okay, I will bring Seth through. God, I look like crazy bangs. So I finally bought bobby pins, but my hair still looks crazy. Oh, and someone remind me, I need to message Anna and or Betty, because I saw a really cool thing they could do for their nail salon today.
Speaking of that, she just messaged me.
Okay, I will get Seth. Hello.
Hello, amigo.
Number 1. I really like the way you explain things, Seth. I actually prefer you over the other families of teachers. How many families of teachers are there anyway? We have you, Abraham, April, Gofford. How many are there total? Well, there's lots who aren't public. There's, Theo, Shayla, and lesser known ones. There's ones in Australia and some in Europe and some in Africa that are small time. But there's lots that don't even go public. They just do it for themselves. And they are less known. But, oh my god, this lighting looks insane. Okay, we're kind of in the dark now, but that looks better. Anyways, there's lots of teachers. But a lot of them will not go public because that is not what they're here for. So, is it too dark now?
I can see you just fine.
Anyways, there's lots and lots and lots. Think kind of hundreds of big time ones and then thousands of lesser known ones. But you only really have about 20, 25 that are big. Number 2, you've mentioned that you're not the same Seth from before. How different is the Seth from the Seth that was Jane Roberts? What has changed about you since then? Back then it was very serious. It was a lot more rigid, and she had her material published in Yale, so it was considered more academic instead of just information written in a way that people understand. So it was more scholarly, and it was more of an introductory to the material, because now you've got people who know that material and are now exploring this material as well. So it's just more serious. I think it's very dark, but that's okay. Let's see. We can just turn this on. I guess that looks alright. Okay, number 3. Last week we talked about designer souls and how they experience souls who are responsible for designing worlds. Are these same souls responsible for designing evolution and adaptations as well? Well, no. Adaptation kind of comes from experience, so it's more from yourself. You create your reality, so if you are realizing there's something that's not really up to par, that you can adapt or change things to make it better for yourself. Evolution and adaptation, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, but yes, not the same souls. Evolution comes from within, and designer souls are kind of separate. How many designer souls did it take to design the current world? Does designer souls also design the human body? Yes, a different group who are more interested in the physical being than the physical world. They work together but separate. There's about a team of 100 to do the world, and about 200 to do the body, because the body is a bit more intricate in how it all works. The world's more like physical look, and then the souls come and then they interact as the physical parts, but the body's more complicated, so it took more souls. 5. Did everything originate from non-physical? Has non-physical always existed? Did even more experienced designer souls design non-physical? Yes, everything comes from non-physical. Ideas are sparked and then they're introduced into physical. Non-physical almost existed without human interaction, well, interaction from beings, but it's created a lot by your own wants, so whatever you're expecting when you cross over is what you're introduced to, and then you create what it looks like, so there's not so much design that goes into it because it's just what you're wanting. 6. Several teachers have said that after transitioning you become more of who you really are. Can you please elucidate on that? If you weren't very happy in physical, you'll be a lot more happier. Perhaps you were a lot more educated in general, so you'll have more languages, more knowledge come to you, different vocabulary. Maybe you came into this world wanting experience to work on your confidence, so you're put in a situation where you would really have to gain it and you'd be shy, but maybe your bigger soul is very confident, so you'd feel more sure of yourself in non-physical. It's just characteristics are enhanced and a lot more knowledge comes to you from all your other experiences. 7. Does every soul instantly become all-knowing after transitioning? No, but all of your knowledge from other lives will come back to you, languages and such. The little belly here is this dog. Lily, you're on camera. Hello, dog. Hey. He doesn't know what to think. Oops, I just about canceled it. Okay. Back to the questions. Yes, you do not become all-knowing of all of the knowledge in the universe, but you can get access to a lot of it. But all of your knowledge, you, yes, can access again in non-physical. 8. You said that I have lived about 30 lives. What was my soul doing before I began my 30 lives journey? Are souls born? Where do souls even come from? Birth is a human experience. Before Earth, you have lower experiences. Where souls come from is very complicated. We can talk more about it later, perhaps in a book, but it will take some time to get the wording right for you to understand. It's like time. It's not what you think of it. Like, they aren't born. Number 9. Out of the 5,000 juveniles who were first transported to Earth, how did the first one transition, and how old were they when they transitioned? Was their physical body buried? No. How did the others deal with someone crossing over for the first time? They instinctively knew death was not the end, so it wasn't a big deal. It's thought of more as a rebirth into the afterlife. The first death was accidental. I fell from a cliffside while pursuing animals hunting. So it was accidental. They went to retrieve the body later, but they just kind of covered it and let it do its own thing. They didn't have graves, anything like that. You died and you went on. So they knew it was his time and it was natural. 10. Sometimes my younger brother talks in his sleep and says really random things, and when I try and talk to him, he sometimes responds. I find it funny. What causes people to talk in their sleep, and why do they sometimes respond? He is not totally asleep. He is in, dreamland. And if you communicate it with him in that state, he can communicate back. It doesn't make sense because you're not in the dream, and a lot of dreams are very abstract. And usually when they respond, they're like lucid dreaming, where they're aware of it, they remember it, they realize they can influence it more, and they're close to waking up, so they almost think they're talking to you, but through this kind of fog of where they are and where you are. So they communicate, but it's not completely clear where you are. 11. Let's say that I wanted to practice flying in my dreams or ask for healing while asleep. What would I need to set that intention right before going to bed, or can I set the intention at any time during the day? Yeah, your body doesn't have to heal at night. It can heal at any time. You could do a meditation for healing. Or you could do writing. I want my body to heal. I want my body to feel its best. I want my body to be at its peak physical condition. I want my cells to work in cohesion to heal. And you could write this at any time, and then before bed you could say the same things and decide that when I sleep, my body will do a lot of work to heal itself, and I will feel noticeably better in the morning. That's all you need to do. For flying, you could say, I want to try flying in my dreams and remember for tomorrow. That's all you would need, to just focus on it for a few minutes. Does the placebo effect work in reverse? For example, if I put deadly poison in someone's food, but they believe that it was just food, would the person die from poisoning, or would they be saved by their belief system? Can our beliefs render us immune to certain things that are believed to be harmful to our bodies? If they didn't know it was poison, they wouldn't die or transition unless they were meant to go and they had chosen by way of unknown poisoning, or their vibration was so low that they were susceptible, but no, it would generally be seen as ineffective or a fluke or whatever, and it wouldn't work. And yes, your beliefs can make you immune to things because everything's made up. So, if you believe that this pill is going to give you cancer, it will. If you believe that this pill cures cancer within 1 minute, it will. If you strongly believe that. Whatever you believe will happen to you. So if you believe that you are always sick, you will stay sick. If you believe you're always healthy, you will be healthy. As long as your vibration is high. But yes, your beliefs are everything. 13. How do beings communicate in the non-physical realm? Do you just send blocks of thought to each other? You people seem so quiet most of the time. In non-physical, when you first go, you have like your group of friends and family there to welcome you, and they usually stay for a while. But if you want to call on someone, yes, you would just intend for them to come to you. And then you would call on them, yes, like a thought form, which is sent out as a frequency that they can hear and communicate to. Or you could just shout their name with intention and they would hear it. You don't have to send an email or write a letter or anything. Okay. Oh, what just happened? I should not phone too much. Okay. 14. When I ask you questions about my father who transitioned, you close your eyes for a moment as if to make a connection with him. What is happening when you do that? Very observant. Are you instantly connected with my father's soul? Yes, because it's just a focus thing, but yes, and pick up on what message he has put out there before, because he's tried to communicate with you before. So those thought forms exist, and I can call upon them if he is not available in the moment. But usually when you're trying to connect with someone and you're vibrating high and you're coming from the right place and it's been a while, so you're not really grieving as much anymore, like you've accepted it and you're okay, that's when they can come through clearly. So if you keep calling on him, he can connect at the same moment and I can act as a translator. But yes, when I close eyes, you pick it up. It's like a wavelength, and then you can communicate it. 15. From where he is now, how does my father want me and my family to see what happened to him? What does he feel is the proper perspective to put it in? Everybody comes for an experience, no matter what it is. And human terms like violent, murder, corruption, they're human. So these are not things that exist in non-physical. You know, there's people who come who, one of them murders the other, and then they go non-physical, and then they come back as husband and wife, and they're madly in love. So everybody comes for an experience, and everybody gains things from these experiences and learns. So even if he transitioned in what you see as a negative way, it is what he chose and what he was needing to get a certain experience out of so that his soul could grow. So you can just think of it as, I don't understand it fully, but his soul grew. And then that lightens it. You know that death is not real, so you know that you will see him again. So it's no different than if he were to die from cancer, or he got hit by a bus, or he drowned. Doesn't matter the way that they go out, they all go to the same place, and you get to see them all again, and have other experiences with them. So, life on Earth is temporary. Take advantage of it, and know that you'll see him again on physical. He'll be one of the ones to greet you. Him specifically. He's not in pain. He did not suffer. It was surprising when it happened, but it makes sense to him now. He's sorry if it was difficult for everyone here, but he's great now. He enjoys watching you grow and develop, and will continue to. He's excited for your future, and we'll see you when it is your time. So, no need to dwell. Up and onwards, you'll be reunited. "16. Why would a soul choose to come for what many humans would consider to be an unpleasant experience? Isn't the meaning of life to experience joy?" It is, but people want that contrast. And sometimes they go for a life of loneliness or sorrow to really experience that feeling. You don't need to have a lifetime full to develop that. But some people are curious what that would be like, so they try it. But just because someone has a difficult or a lonely life doesn't mean they don't have moments of joy, days of joy. It's just overshadowed by a lot of the other things they experience. But different strokes for different folks. Just different ways of developing different traits. 17. You've said that space doesn't exist. What determines how close and how far away things are? Can my perspective of space make my truck more fuel efficient? Yes. Space, it's like outer space with planets. Things are only as far as you think. So because you've been given distances and measurements, people go off of that, but you could get to the moon a lot faster if your perception changed. So with space, so it's like when you're running, you slept through your alarm, you have 15 minutes to get to work. It usually takes you at least 12 to drive to work. You're flying through the house getting ready. Miraculously, what you usually take an hour to do, you've done in 3 minutes. You're out the door. You somehow make it to work in 8 minutes. You've shed 4 minutes. Well, it's because you're so focused. You have this goal. You need to get to work on time. Your body's in overdrive. You're kind of in shock at what you did. So time adjusts accordingly so that you can make it in time. It's all just your response to it. Eventually, people will realize time is not all that it is, and things will kind of warp a little. For making your truck more fuel efficient, you can ask your trucker, you're riding on a truck, can you use less fuel to accomplish the same? You're strong, I trust you, you're dependable, I love having you. I need you to be more fuel efficient so that I can use my funds elsewhere. And you might see a change. 18. Are our guides sort of like guardian angels? Do we choose our guides? If so, when do we choose our guides? The people call them this, yes, guardian angels, your oversoul, your overlookers, your helpers, your spirit guides, your animal guides. You can choose them because often they're like your grandpa or your aunt or someone close to you or a family friend. And often they're from other lifetimes as well. But sometimes they'll choose you. They'll be drawn to you. And then you'll have experiences together later. But yes, you choose each other. One or the other. And you choose them many lifetimes before. 19. What are the different ways in which guides can guide you? Well, if you're walking up to a scene where someone's about to get stabbed, they usually make something dramatic happen to make you change your plans and to leave the situation. They'll give you nudges, so if you are looking for a certain job, they'll nudge you to open a paper you don't usually open to see a job ad for a job that you want. They'll drop ideas, like thought forms that you'll kind of absorb and pick up when you need a push or you need some information. When you're scared, they'll comfort you. When you're in a situation you don't want to be in, they'll give you goosebumps. They're always alerting you to things. 20. How are you able to see the future if the future is constantly changing? Isn't the future just a series of probable alternate realities? All time is now, so the future's already existing. So, yes, your life isn't predetermined. There's certain things that you're looking for to happen and that you're guided towards, but you do have independence and you make your own choices. But all these different realities exist, so it just depends which one you lead to. And all time is now, so hold on.
Hello, Seth.
To show that he finally came back. Use the microwave we have in our room. It's like a little dorm room. He had to talk to his brother. Okay, so all time is now. So there's no such thing as the future. The future is now. So you don't need a crystal ball to see the future. You just need your own intuition and knowledge to know that whatever you seek can happen and has happened and will happen.
Focus. In other words, focus on what you want. See it right now where you're at.
Oh, now we pipe up.
Well, I'm just trying to help you out here because I think a lot of the comments that have been coming in is, you've got to be a little bit more you know, it's good that I.
Eloquent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Show him.
Are we watching a movie tonight?
We can. Randy's just
Are
doing
you
a
busy?
live. She's just doing a live
Oh,
stream.
yeah, there you go. Oh, sorry.
Well, it's all good.
You're not in it.
20 minutes, Jerry.
I hope that I wasn't on.
Oh yeah, we heard you.
No face. 21. If I can have her do whatever I want, then why don't you fully answer some of my more peculiar questions? There are several times when you gave a really vague answer, said you didn't want to give it away. Some of them are things that other people are asking as well, and will be in future books. If I give you all the answers, I cannot sell books. Some things are very complicated, and yes, you're curious about them, but even if I say it, it won't click, and you won't like the answer. So it's better to wait until there's some more building blocks to go off of, and then we can dive into that. So, like that one you asked before, about where do souls come from, are they born? That's something you need some basics before that will make sense to you. It's not that you're stupid, it's just that there's certain things that you can't find in books to understand before that will click and make sense to you. Rocky says I give vague answers as well, but it's just stuff that needs more time and more energy put towards the answers, so the answers will come. 22. In your book, The Nature of the Psyche, you say that initially language was meant to express and release, not to define. Can you please use the English language to define exactly what it is you meant by that? If you say, this is blue, you're giving a word to a thing, but it's just one word and it's very limiting. If you go, this is light blue, pale blue, indigo blue, turquoise blue, dark blue, royal blue, medium blue, navy blue, sky blue, now you've opened up a whole rainbow of different meanings for this same thing, but now there's more options. So, to express things, you say, I am so excited, I am so happy. But if you're defining, well, what is their mood? Oh, they are happy. Well, go beyond that. They're blissfully happy, they're euphorically happy, like super happy, very happy, beyond words happy. You can get more and more because you have more words to express yourself with, but if with a dictionary, it's full of definitions that are very limited. But when you add more words, you can get more ideas across and express more. And it lets a person release what they're thinking and communicate it to others. This is why, like with natives, how they have words that don't exist in the English language is because they would go on walks and show you and teach you and point at plants and animals and have words for them and different phrases that can't be understood just by writing a couple words in a dictionary. So they get it that it's meant to express and not so much just this is what this is. 23. Are there different colored auras for non-physical beings? And if so, what purpose do auras serve in non-physical and what determines the color? Everybody's glowing non-physical. Everybody almost like with the light right now, there's this yellow glowing around her head. It would be like that, just yellow. And it's just to show more of the radiating of your soul. There's no real purpose, it just is. And then in physical, you can pick up on it and pick up on different people's energies, but in non-physical, everybody's good, so everybody's the same. 24. How can one practice the art of allowing when they are in a position where they have to make something happen? How can we allow ourselves to allow when we're not allowed to allow? You may need to elaborate on that. If you're in the position where you have to make something happen, you're not in the position of allowing, because you're going off of action and not universe delivering. If you're allowing, you've asked, you know it's coming to you, you're trusting the universe, you're relaxed, you're easy about it. If you're thinking, in order to allow, I have to do this, you're in the wrong mindset. You need to just be zen and be and let it happen, and just know that the time frame doesn't matter, it just will be when it's meant to. You're always in a position to be allowed things, I guess, unless you're in prison, and yes, you have your rights stripped, but there are other things you can ask for and have delivered to you. But yes, maybe some more on when you're not allowed to allow. 25. What is the relationship between our emotions and time? Your emotions can affect time, so when you're running late, you're panicked, you need to get there on time. That want, that desire can affect time to slow down. When you're bored, time can seem to drag on because you're bored. When having fun, time flies because you're jam-packing so much fun into that period, and so it goes quickly. But you can also really savor something, and you can make an hour stretch out if you're watching a sunset at a beach and you don't want it to end, and you're just enjoying and appreciating. You can make it last even longer. So whatever it is you're looking for, you can have occur. "26. If time is a made-up thing, then wouldn't that mean that aging is a made-up thing as well?" Yes. What determines the rate at which we age? Your beliefs. So you'll notice certain nationalities age a lot better. The Japanese eat certain foods for their health, and the elderly are treated really well, and they're very active, so they stay active, so they stay younger looking. In Western society, people are shoved into homes, and they're surrounded by other elderly people, so that ages them much faster. They don't go outside, so that ages them. Oh, you have good genetics. Well, if you're told that your whole life, your body's not going to age as quickly as some of your other friends. If you do certain things like Botox and work out a lot and different treatments, they can slow it down, but you're also pushing against it, so you'll need more and more of it. But it's all in your beliefs. So if you know that you're young at heart, you have fun, you laugh a lot, you can stay looking youthful. Even if your hair goes white, your face will still look youthful. It just depends on your attitude and your outlook on life. 27. Sometimes I have really vivid dreams where it seems like I'm just going through the motions, almost like I'm living someone else's life. Do we ever live other lives in dream state, and if so, why? You can kind of it'd be like if you're non-physical and you're looking in on someone else's life, and it's just to give you like an outsider's perspective. And it's for you to observe and to pick up on something, because you're always learning things in dreams and practicing things. So It's just to show you things in a different way than if you were experiencing the dream yourself. You're watching it from an outsider's perspective. 28. I'm so excited for your upcoming book. Have you decided on a title yet? Yes. We won't share it yet. But this is basically processes you need to get the life that you want. This is a general idea. And we have settled with a publisher. So we will continue working on it over the next week. Wrap it up. Got to lock down our artist for the cover. Hopefully it won't take too much convincing because he is shy, but very talented. And we will get that going. And it will be ready this spring on Amazon. 29. Is there a question that I didn't know I wanted to ask you? No, you had a lot of questions like you usually do, which is good. So, all is good. There's nothing I am picking up on in your experience right now. No, this will not be the last Seth session. At least one more. And to celebrate our 107 and counting likes, once we hit 200, we'll do maybe a half-hour FaceTime private session or a signed copy of a book or something like that. Something to celebrate the milestone. So, it is now for our other partner.
No questions, Mr. Seth.
That's not an answer.
I explained that to Randy earlier.
No.
No, I missed some of Romeo's questions, but I'll listen to it a little bit later. And
Perhaps you have questions about this puppy you want.
Sure. Yeah, I do want to get a dog. I just I know what kind I want to get, and I know sort of what I'm looking for, and yeah, I know it'll come to me. I'm not, I don't need to rush into anything or anything like that. I think that this will be the end all one, whichever one I come across. I'll just know. Okay, I got a question for you for crab traps. Are they gonna be loaded in the morning?
What do you think?
I think maybe.
That's not a very good way to think about it.
Yeah, I was gonna do some energy work. I was gonna put a little bit of effort in, not effort, but
See, the biggest, fattest crabs is wandering in there and willing to go and to feed you till you are stuffed.
okay.
Think of how good they taste, and that is how you will attract them.
Perfect. Oh, I like it. Nobody else asked questions, eh? Just Romeo?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're good questions, though. He's always like...
Yes.
He's got millions of questions, that guy. Yeah. That's awesome. I like it. Yeah, and not just questions, he's got really good questions.
Non-physical.
Yeah. Very,
Leading edge.
yes, very leading edge questions. Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of myself. Right, Seth? No, I really don't have that many questions. I mean, because I'm in constant contact with my guides throughout the day, so I usually get
You should save good questions for.
yeah, I
Things.
can start doing that, I guess, again for these sessions. Yeah, absolutely.
See, he didn't know how to communicate with his guides, so he always had questions lined up. So what I'm saying is, you're better than Jerry Hicks.
Yeah, but I already knew that, and he told me himself too. So I have talked with Jerry on many occasions. Actually, I've talked with Jerry in my own mind also as well too. I've called on him and chatted with him.
Demanded when his wife was gonna give you a check.
Yes, I did.
Still waiting, Jerry.
Yeah.
It's funny how many Jerrys are around.
Really. Does Romeo have any more questions he's maybe thinking about now?
Well, he hasn't written them if he is.
Okay.
While we're here, gotta tell you about a really great website Randy discovered. myfridgefood.com. It gives you a list of foods. You tell them what's in your fridge, and they come up with multiple recipes for you. It is going to be a hit among young people, I think.
Yeah, it's a pretty good idea, actually. I was kind of blown away by that. Thinking that, how did somebody not think of that earlier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once things are made that I thought always happens, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, it's such a simple idea, but I mean, it took somebody a bit to put it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And constantly update.
Yeah, that's it. What else, Seth?
We can end now.
Okay, yeah, this probably wouldn't be a bad idea, eh? End it early and, we can do a 3-hour one to make up for it next time.
Yeah, bring your list. Okay, I will go.
Okay, Seth.
Very
Goodbye.
good.